I have the Ace of Wands surrounding your entire reading, Cancers. Fresh start, new beginning, just blooming, just blossoming. It's a beautiful card. It provides a lot of hope for the future. So, surround your entire reading. Up here in your highest energy is the Nine of Cups. Well, the Nine of Cups is about wishes coming true. It's also about, holding on to your love until you're ready to hand it out. So let's keep reading. That Nine of Cups is in your highest energy. There's a lot of communication coming in. I have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is right above the Ace of Wands and next to the Nine of Cups. So this tells me there will be a lot of back and forth phone calls, texting, emails, something like that through the airways that is going to put you on your path towards your fresh start, your new beginning, I think, where your wishes will come true. I have the Three of Swords next to the Eight of Wands. And the Three of Swords is about a broken heart. So this might be why you have been holding your love back, I think, a little bit here. Not, you've been through something. It might have been a third party with this card coming out. It might have just been a broken heart. But there's a lot of communication that's going to be happening. And this might be with the same person that broke your heart, since this came out where it did come out. And I'm looking around, and there's more cards I need to show you, like the Emperor. The Emperor, the card for Aries. Aries might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is holding true to yourself. I mean, you know what you want. You're sitting on a granite throne. You're being stubborn. You're holding out. You want to see where this conversation is going to take you. Then you will decide how you're going to move forward. You're very well liked. You're very well respected by others around you. So you're taking on this energy of the Emperor. You definitely know what it is that you want. I have the Hierophant on the other side of the Ace of Wands and under the Three of Swords. The Hierophant, wow, this is a card for Taurus. Taurus might be strong in your chart or someone else's. It's a very spiritual card. This is about traditional values, traditional morals. It's about commitment, security, stability. This can be a card of marriage. So it's right next to the Ace of Wands. Your fresh start, your new beginning. I feel like whoever broke your heart might be coming back in and wanting to present something to you that is much more secure and much more able to move forward in this relationship. So like some sort of commitment. I have the Two of Pentacles under the Emperor. The Two of Pentacles is confusion over the pentacles. You keep juggling. Like, I think you spent some time going back and forth as far as there's hope for this relationship, and then there's no hope for this relationship. There's hope, and then there's no hope. Hope, and it's like over and over and over. It's like Groundhog Day. And it's back and forth, not being able to decide what's going on, especially if they hurt your heart here. So you have been living in rocky waters with this person that I'm talking about. But you're coming out of it. You're pulling yourself out of it, and you're taking charge of your own life. I do have the Queen of Cups right next to the Two of Pentacles. So the Queen of Cups is water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is your card, Cancer, right under the Ace of Wands, right next to the Two of Pentacles. So you're confused, and you're confused about the love, and you're confused about how you're going to move forward here. Is there love here? Why would they be breaking your heart if they love you? You have lots of questions. And I think that you are trying to peer into this cup, the only cup in the deck with the lid on it. There's windows all the way around that cup. And what the Queen is trying to do is get answers to her love questions by peering in those windows, because that cup is full of answers. So, heavy on your mind. It's about the love. You're holding back until you figure this thing out. But you will, because I have the Ten of Swords right next to the Queen of Cups and under the Hierophant. The Ten of Swords is a lot better than it looks. The Ten of Swords is the end. The end. The end of the confusion. The end of the heart pain. The end of holding back your love. I mean, this is why you're going into a fresh start and a new beginning that's just blossoming, it's like all of a sudden you've kind of taken control over your life and you're like, no, wait a minute. I'm not settling. I'm moving forward. And it's like the other person sees this. Now, you are going to, like I say, put an end to all the pain and suffering that you've been going through mentally, physically, emotionally. So let's find out what the second part of this reading has to say for you, Cancers. Now, if you like a more detailed personal reading, I do those. And I'm pretty reasonable on my price. I also do doggy readings. Have the Doggy Tarot. And they have their own deck, so I can read dogs. If you have an issue or trying to understand something about your dog, I can really help there. People are liking those readings. And if you want it public, I can make it public with the doggy readings. And I can also use your doggy's picture as the thumbnail in YouTube. I have the Page of Swords here. So the Page of Swords is next to the Three of Swords. Yeah, I think you're kind of been checking out maybe the social media or still have your eye on this person. I think you're watching them, so to speak, maybe through someone else, who knows how, but you're kind of like, they're not off your mind. You want to know what they're up to. And I think that you've been kind of, I don't like to use the word spying, but just kind of, looking at what they're up to, paying attention to what they're up to. You want to know if they miss you. You want to know how they feel about hurting you. Here's the Nine of Swords right next to the Page of Swords. You are up in your head. You miss them so much, even though they hurt your feelings. You're confused about the love in this situation. So what does the universe want you to know? I'll get to the bottom of it. But you're in it with the Nine of Swords. But we do have the Ten of Swords here, so this will come to an end. 10, then 9. It covers the 9. So I have the Hermit here, right next to the Nine of Swords. The card for Virgo. Virgo might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is seeking your path forward. It's very spiritual. It's like your time's alone, right next to a card where you're spending your time alone way up in your head. You're asking for your path forward is what you're doing when you're spending your time alone. Now the Hermit's here to try to give you some guidance. One thing that they're pointing out is you are spending time alone. That has to do with what the universe wants you to know. But let me keep reading. I have the Ten of Pentacles under the Page of Swords and next to the Hierophant. So you're wondering if there's still hope for this relationship. I mean, the Ten of Pentacles is union between two people. There's extended family, pets, and there's a child tucked in right here. So this is a very committed relationship. This is very stable and secure. This is what you want. It's right next to the Hierophant. So you're wondering and you're hoping, I think, that they will return and they will, stop acting the way that they've been acting so that you can have this fresh start and new beginnings. They've been breadcrumbing you because right next to that Ten of Pentacles and under you having your head buried in your hands, this is how you feel about how you feel like they were breadcrumbing you, barely feeding enough into this relationship to keep it going. Really throws your scales off balance in life. So that's like the opposite of the Ten of Pentacles. You're really, really wanting that Ten of Pentacles. So you're wondering how they're feeling. I feel like you're separated or apart. But if you're not, you are still checking out their social media or something here. You really wanting to know how they're feeling about this relationship. I have the Five of Pentacles next to the Six of Pentacles. You are feeling alone. I kind of really feel like you're not with this person, or it's been a few days, or where you're just kind of taking time to yourself and trying to figure this thing out. I feel like you feel left out in the cold, so they might have just taken off on you, or might be ghosting you with this card in a way. You might be ghosting them. But this is a very spiritual card, stained glass windows. You can come in from out of the cold, and that is under the Hermit. I think the Hermit's really shining this lantern here on how you're feeling right now. Kind of rejected, left alone, not treated properly, being breadcrumbed. It's not what you want from this relationship. I have the Eight of Swords under the Ten of Pentacles and next to the Nine of Swords. So yeah, there's been truth and clarity all around you for some time, but you haven't really chosen to take a deep dive and look into it. Your eyes are bound, your body's bound, but your feet aren't, your mouth isn't, and those swords of truth and clarity are all around you. And you want to know if this is a committable relationship. The truth and clarity is all around you about this. You are going to be putting an end to this feeling of being trapped in this relationship without knowing how they feel. I feel like the more I read this, the more I feel like they just don't express their feelings. They're kind of take things for granted in this relationship, and you need to know more, because you want to know that you're not wasting your time on someone here. You are ready to give them the benefit of the doubt. You always were. But, the truth might just slap you right in the face when you turn around and see those swords right there. It's right next to the Queen of Wands, this Eight of Swords, and right under the Six of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands, this is fire energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius that might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is about passion. The Queen of Wands is the most passionate card. It's about fresh starts and new beginnings also with that staff. And also it's like wherever the Queen of Wands puts their love, they put their passion. And I think that's what's gotten into you. I think you have a lot of passion for this person. And I think you really want this fresh start and this new beginning, which you might get if this conversation goes the way it should go. I think the universe is saying, you know what? I got the Strength card right next to the Queen of Wands, which is a fire sign, Leo. And it's right under the Five of Pentacles. Use your intuition. Trust yourself. Trust what you're feeling and thinking about this situation. And you will find the strength and the courage to do what you know that you need to do. So far in this reading here, what I have is you've been kind of tied up into a relationship that hasn't been going the way that you would really hope it would go. It doesn't seem to be leading in the direction that you want it to go. But there is a lot of conversation that's going on here. And I think you need this in order to hand out your love. And the conversation has to do with moving forward with your person and, talking about it. And knowing whether or not they truly love you, whether they love you, what's going on here, what do they see for the future. So you're checking out the social media. There might be a little lack of trust going on here, because usually when you're breadcrumbed, that comes hand in hand. When you're being breadcrumbed, you get this lack of trust. Like there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason, So you've been feeling lonely. You've been feeling rejected. You're not getting the things that you wanted from this relationship. And the universe knows this. And they're trying to point out how this relationship is making you feel. So pay attention to that. Right on each side of the Hermit. How this relationship is making you feel. You will find the strength and the courage to move forward. We know that. And it will be a better place. But I think it all depends on whether you move forward alone or with them. Whoever they are, because there is definitely a lot of conversation that's going to take place here. So I'm going to take out one more clarifying card from the Right Waiter deck. And I have the Arcanum deck here, and I will take out one clarifying card from that deck. The Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands up in your head. I think there was an argument with this person, and it might have been on how to move forward. It might have been, about the heartbreak, because I think there was an argument, definitely. This is stress, anxiety, and confusion associated with it. And I think, and it lands right there on that Three of Swords, the broken heart. And also the Page of Swords, where you are kind of taking a really hard look at them, whether it is through social media, you're gathering information on what are they up to. You're just really not trusting them that much. So this is the Arcanum deck. Beautiful illustrations, very slippery cards because it's a newer deck. If one falls out or flips over, that's your card. Whoa, that's way too many. And we'll take the one that turned right side up. If I can pick up these others. The High Priest. Okay, so High Priestess. This is the card of intuition and knowing. Look how beautiful. Pay attention to what yourself is telling you with this High Priestess. Listen to your inner self. Listen. When you're spending these times alone, you're up in your head and all those swords of truth and clarity, and they keep coming through and they're almost torturous. Pay attention to what you're thinking about. Pay attention to what's coming through your mind. I think from looking at this, I think this is all going to hinge on this conversation, on whether you move forward with them or not. So we got the Death card. I think it's going to be the end of this relationship. I think you're going to move forward on your own. The Death card, this is the card for Scorpio. So Scorpio could be strong in someone's chart around this reading. But this is about leaving the old behind and moving forward. This is the end of what's been going on and the beginning of something new. And I think that's what your intuition's been telling you anyway.